You guys. Welcome back to Vita One Clothing. And today is Soulful Reset Sunday, right? I want to apologize. I know I came on earlier. I was trying to use another camera, but it didn't work out. I got to learn how to do it. It's been a minute. So, we are back here again. It will be 6 o'clock the next time. I promise you, I will be on 6 o'clock next week, next Sunday. But today we are, we're here today, and we're going to talk about a lot of good stuff. We're going to talk about, we talk about our journal prompts. We're going to talk about swimwear care. I'm bringing it down in different ways of actually telling you what I'm going to do. And we're going to talk about, are we ready to make a change? How important it is that we come to a point that we want to make a change. Um, First of all, I want to thank Talk Shop Live for this opportunity to be able to do this show on here every Wednesday, every Sunday. I love it. I might even add some more days on. I haven't made that decision yet for more exposure. Um, Thank you for allowing me to grace your stream to talk about my wrap dresses. I don't have my mannequin up here today, but I have my swimwear because I want to talk about something pertaining to our swimwear. So we're going to definitely talk about that today. Getting that out the way. I want to start out by letting you guys know that this is going to be fun. I'm going to make sure I try to make this fun for you guys. So what I want to do is, let's see. Okay. I'm trying to get myself back together because my timing was off. I want to welcome everybody from UCN, and Fat and Fabulous is the other place where we're streaming at today. I'm like excited at the same time. I'm like nervous, right? So before we get deep into this, I want to talk about one of the things. I should say it like this. Before we get into glitz and glamour and all the good information that we share on here, I want to definitely, I got to get my eye. I want to kind of get real with you guys. I want to get real with you in the point in the, oh, I didn't have my ring on. I like my ring. Isn't that cute? Okay. Um, I want to get to the point where I want us to look at this conversation that we're going to be having in a few minutes. That it's not just we want to do it during the holidays, because this is what we're talking about, making changes in our lives. We want to make sure that we're making changes that are going to benefit us over the long run, right? So I want to talk about things that we can do. And if you notice me, I always include myself in here because I don't want you guys to think that I'm just talking about you guys. I'm talking about me too, because I know for me, I have things that I have to work on, and I constantly work on them because I am not a perfect person by far. Okay. And so there's things that I'm going to have to also work on for myself. Now, these questions I'm going to ask, and I'm going to go in depth with each one of them. They also can be journal prompts, but we have journal prompts already. And the journal prompts we're going to talk about today is going to be, and I'm going to get that out the way real quick. It's going to be talking about overcoming obstacles. So the journal prompts today are going to be talking about obstacles. In the description box, I put where you can buy or purchase one of our journals. The journals are not on this page right here. I mean, in this shop right here, but it is over on my You Can't Clip My Wings page. Okay. So I want you guys to be able to look over here and also my main website, because that is where my main website is. And it also has a shop over there. And it also has a lot of these items that we have over here in this shop. We have them over there. I told you guys that I was going to be looking into whether or not they can do a payment plan. If you wanted to do a payment plan on our items, But if you can't do it over here, you can definitely do it over on my youcan'tclipmywings.com/shop -2 or shop rituals. You can find our journals over there. You can find a lot of our printable books, our downloadable books over there. Majority of them are in that area. We're going to go over our books one day. We're going to sit down and definitely go over them. I've gone over them on my other show, on my show on AOC. I've gone over them on that show. But I don't think I've gone over them over here yet because I haven't been here that long. So I haven't gone over those here. But yeah, I want to share those with you, some of the books. I've actually read the whole books or majority of it on the other channel, um, and broke down some things in the book. Uh, Man, and it makes you want to think. You have to really think about stuff, right? Like really put it in your head. So definitely want to do that later on down the line with this show. Might have to uh, have a separate show just pertaining to all the books. That might be something different that I could do um, to bring that out. So that gives you the opportunity to check out my books. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to keep you long. Um, But I definitely want to talk to you. I want to ask questions. I love asking questions. So, are you ready to make a change that is going to empower you and that is going to show you what it is to leave a legacy? When we talk about legacy, we're talking about you. What are you leaving behind? What are you doing different that is going to be an impact on others? And this is really not about other people in general, but it's mainly what I want to say is it's more about um, when you go, what do you want to leave behind? Okay. How do you want people to remember you? Maybe I should say it like that. How do you want people to remember you? Some people say, well, I don't care if anybody remembers me. It's not that important. But some people don't feel that way. Some people really want to talk about what are you leaving behind. I'm sorry, you guys. I have my foot inside the journal. Yes. Okay. I'm like, what? You actually have a foot massage on? Yeah, it was getting me. Okay, it was getting to me. I needed that. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. Okay, so the first question I want to ask, and we're going to break it down, is, and this is going to be about your radical self, your honesty about yourself. So the first question is, what do I need to change about myself to truly make this um, life-changing change? Okay. Um, so we're looking at the holidays. Okay. Holidays are right around the corner. And I'm not saying that I'm not a big fan of holidays, but we should be wanting to change regardless of the holidays. We should be wanting to come into things that are going to be different regardless, right? So, one of the things we actually are holidays. Let's say habits that, what are some of the holiday, what are some of the things we do during the holidays that can sabotage your peace? Think about things that we get involved with. Holidays are very stressful, right? So if we're talking about how stressful it can be when the holidays come, so what are some of the things that you feel like you sabotage yourself in the process while during this time? um, Are there some things that you say to yourself that can make you feel like you don't want to deal with the holidays? Do we, lots of times, when we're doing holidays, we have family and friends and people around and all that. Um, do you feel like you are not, what are the things you think that you do to yourself? Do you feel like you should be invited to people's homes? Do you invite people over? Do you deal with a lot of people? Or do you, what about your relationships with your family? How are all those working for you? So are those things that you think about? And do you feel like, okay, I'm the problem? So you start thinking negative about you and the whole situation, what's going on during that time? How do you handle that? Because remember, we're talking about change. We're talking about um, being honest with ourselves. Could we be the toxic person in the family? You know what I'm saying? Um, are we the one who keep up mess? We're on the phone with one sister. We're telling the sister, another sister this. We're on the phone with the brother. We're just keeping this going all the time. Are you that person? And then during the holidays, when everybody's around everybody, here she comes. Don't you say anything about your personal life around her, because she's definitely going to talk. She's definitely going to tell somebody something. Is that how you see it? I mean, are you that person? Because that could be you, right? Okay. Um, Another question is, do you default to people pleasing, perfectionism, or procrastination? Do you do all these things? Are you a people pleaser? Everybody has to come to my house. Okay, now this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do this. Okay, oh, let me see how I need to put that on that. I need to measure that area where that plate is going to go. Oh, don't touch that over there. Are you that person, or are you that person that just waits the last minute? And they're calling you and saying, okay, are you coming? Yeah, I'm coming, but I got to first stop at the store. I got to do this. And already you're still sitting around in your house coat. So were you really intended to go or not? So those are things that we have to look at when it comes to the radical self-honesty with ourselves. Are we the messy person? Are we the toxic person in the family? Are we the one that everybody got to wait on? Okay. Or are we the one who tries to please everything and everybody? We got to take care of everybody. You got to make sure everybody got a gift, right? Okay. You got to make sure everything is done the way that you want it done. Are you that person? Okay. Or you pull out the red carpet for everybody. Don't matter who it is. People that don't even like you, they come to your to your parties and your get together, and they're there for a whole nother reason. And you don't care. You just glad they're there. I'm so happy you're here, right? Okay. The next one is your self-talk rooted in legacy or lack, and inherited, or no longer aligned with the women you are becoming, or the woman that you're becoming? How is your self-talk? How do you talk to yourself? We talked about, I don't know if I mentioned mirror work with you guys. Do we talk to ourselves to make sure um, that we're saying the right things to ourselves sometimes? I mean, do we find ourselves saying things like, you know, even though I need to change, don't mean I am. I can do that another time. Right now, I'm not in the mood to do it. Even though, you need to make a change. You need to make a change. Things have to get better in your life. And you steady just like, yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. I'll do it when I'm ready to do it. But your body, your mind, your emotions, everything is begging for you to change, because you see the things around you. Your your outer part of your life is not working out, and it has a lot to do with you. You are it because of the choices that you make, right? So what are you doing? What are you really doing? You know, are you doing all the things you need to do to make sure you can make that change that needs to be done? You know, it's a good question to ask, right? So what part of me is outdated? I'm sorry, I said this wrong. Let me say this again. I'm sorry. So it says, do you default to people pleasing, perfectionism, or procrastination? And then the next question was, is your self talk rooted in legacy or lack? That was the question. So is it rooted in legacy or lack? Um, are you trying to build something, or you want to leave something behind? So the way that you talk, the words that you use, is it legacy? Or are you talking, oh gosh, I really wish I could do this, and I wish I could, I could be that person I want to be. You can be whatever you want to be. You have already proven that by being who you are now. So you can be anything you want to be. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. Nothing at all is stopping you from being that person you want to be, right? Okay. Um, the next question is, this question asks this: what part of me is outdated, inherited, right? Or no longer aligned with the woman that you're becoming? What part of you? Okay. We talked about the self sabotage. Is that part of you? Is that a change you want to make? Getting rid of the self sabotaging that you do with yourself. Um, what about parts of you? When we say outdated, if you're trying to change, or you're trying to move up, you're trying to ascend, you're trying to level up, you're trying to do all these things, what about you, what about you that has not changed yet? Or what about you that you can write down? You can write down, let's do this. Let's think of a list of all the negative things and then all the positive things about yourself. Okay. So if you have all the negative things over here, then you would start with the negative things that you want to change about yourself. Think about it from that standpoint. You would want to definitely um, get to the point where you would say to yourself, okay, the negative things that I'm dealing with me is the fact that I'm negative to myself. I'm negative to others. I don't see. I'm always doom and gloom. I'm Debbie Downer. Let's use that. I have this Debbie Downer mentality. I don't see good in anything. So if you write those as all negative things that you see in yourself, what do you do with that? You have to start finding ways to say, okay, I need to get this off my list. I no longer want to be a Debbie Downer. I no longer want to have all these negative things, talking about all these negative things all the time. I want to find joy in things that I do. Um, I want to have people who are around me that has joy, okay, that brings joy in my life, okay. So you want to remove all those things that are not of you, okay, that makes your life hard, or how do you say that? Let me see, how do I want to say that? You want to do things that I'm sorry, let me find this out. I need to make sure something is going on. Okay. Okay. Hold up. Let's see here. Give me a second here. I'm trying to find something. Mm, mm, mm. Okay. Um, let's see. Okay. Mm, okay. Um, okay. I was looking at something, you guys. I was checking something, and I gotta go back and check it again. Let me see something. Let's see. Okay. All right. Okay. Um, I need to go somewhere else real quick. I don't know why I didn't check this before, you guys. I apologize. I didn't check something that I needed to check. Check. Okay. 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 I gotta go somewhere else and check something. Give me a second. Let's come out of there. I'm sorry. I should have checked this earlier and I didn't do it. And it's my fault. I should have checked it earlier. Okay. Mm, mm, mm. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Okay. I need to make sure you guys can hear me. All right. Um, it might be a lag in this, but I want to make sure you guys can definitely hear me. Let's see here. I guess it would help if I turn it up, huh? Okay. There we go. Make sure you guys. Okay, I'm sorry. Um, let me come out of here. Okay, there we go. I had to make sure you guys could hear me on my other destinations. Okay, let's get back to this. I apologize for that. Okay, so the last one said this question asks, what part of me is outdated, inherited, or no longer aligned with the woman I'm becoming? There are certain parts of us that are no longer, um, we want to hold on to. Like I said, when you think of all the things, Debbie Downer, this, all these different things that we are, that we have embraced and become, that's really not good for us, right? It's really not good. Okay, so what we would say is change doesn't start with your calendar, it starts with your character. I love that. Change doesn't start with your calendar, it starts with your character. I'm gonna have to use that. Okay, so what part of you needs to be released so your power can rise? What part of you? What part of you needs to go away, okay, in order for you to get to the point where, okay, now I can move on, I can ascend, I can step up, I can level up? What part of me or what part of you that can do that, that you're ready to do that with? Okay. So number two says, I am mentally and emotionally equipped to make this change. Am I mentally, emotionally ready to make this change? So we're talking emotional inventory. So with emotional inventory, um, it says, do you have the tools, the rituals, the affirmations, the meditation, and the prayers to support this shift? Do you have things? I'm hoping that our journal prompts are good ways when it comes to your and the affirmations to make that transition that you want to make. I'm hoping that these are encouraging you um, to make that change. Um, and like I said today, ours is going to be talking about overcoming obstacles. So I think this works perfectly for this. Okay. Um, So that's definitely very important. And this is, like I said, we're talking about the emotional inventory. Let's look at what we have when it comes to our emotions. What is really working? What's not working? What what makes us angry? What makes us sad? What makes us happy? All those things need to be in place whenever you're about to make a change. You have to have a clear mind. You have to have a clear spirit, in other words, to make that change. Your energy has to be, your chakras need to be balanced. when you're about to make that change. Okay. So it says here, okay. So are you still carrying emotional weight from the past holidays, relationships, or expectations? So are you still holding on things that happened the last time the holidays came around? Um, I know lots of times, this also, remember, this time of the year, sad comes into play. And sad is like a syndrome for people who are dealing with some type of some type of loss, loss of a loved one, maybe some depression. Okay, so all of this is going to come into play during this time, and that can be sort of like a problem. You know what I'm saying? That could be something that you might have to get a therapist in the process of affirmations, on putting your boundaries in place, having your rituals, your prayers, all that. You might want to also seek some therapy on top of that, mental health. Okay. Are Even with this, with carrying emotions around, that you can't say you want to change, and when the opportunity comes, it's crazy. It's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on, and you're trying to figure out how are you going to be able to make that change, right? If you don't have yourself, that's why I said you need to go ahead and do all the things you need to do prior to saying, okay, I'm ready to do this. Okay. Do you know how to pause, breathe, reset if you're triggered? And these are really little things. This right here, the last one, is really a little thing on this section. It's really a little thing to do. Take your time, breathe in, breathe out, and then move on. Okay. Sometimes that's what you have to do. You don't have any other choice but to do that. Okay. And that's what you have to actually look at. That's what you have to really say, okay. Um, Say there's a family member that you never really, really, really got along with. Okay. And each time we all get together, that person loves to say something to trigger you. For example, they'll say something like, "Ooh, you don't have, so you don't have a boyfriend this year," or, "Oh my God, no children still." Just little crazy things they say, and it triggers you, right? What do? You look at them, you cuss them out. What are the things that you do? But those things you cannot no longer do, because guess what? You're trying to make this change. You're trying to do this transition, this transformation. So you can't do all those things. You can't get upset. You can't get mad. You got to figure out what you got to do to say, you know what? I'm not doing this. And I know this is not the greatest answer. Walking away at that very moment, go take a 5-minute break, whatever you got to do that, okay? So that you will not find yourself in a situation where you might hurt somebody or say something that you're going to regret. So the best thing to do is walk. Well, go outside, you know, go outside with the kids. You know what I'm saying? If the kids outside playing, go outside with the kids and play. Yeah, just do something. But don't find yourself engaging back and forth with that person, because again, you're trying to change, right? Okay. Okay. So with that, we'll say you can't build a new legacy with old wound running the show. So it's saying when old wounds are still there, you can't say you're trying to do something, you're trying to change. Those wounds are there. You're still being triggered by things that you shouldn't be triggered by. And that's very important, okay? Not to be triggered, okay? Um, it says, check your emotional toolkit. What do you have in there? What's missing? Okay. Put together an emotional toolkit. Okay. Um, what's missing? What's outdated? What can you change? Are your needs being upgraded? The things that you're needing, are they being upgraded? Because if they're not, this is why you're easily triggered, because those things haven't been done. You haven't put those things in place. Okay. And maybe we need to go into emotional toolkits. We might need to talk about that too. I think I might make a note of that, because I didn't add it in what we were talking about today. Emotional toolkits. I think that's awesome. Okay. I think that's a very awesome thing. So we might bring that up on our Wednesday night show. Okay. So it says here, let's see. So the next one is, would I be willing to do something different this holiday season if it meant less stress and more joy? Would I not get together with family if that's what it's going to take for me not to, be under a lot of stress, trying to compete with other people, trying to do all these crazy things that we do when we are trying to get out of the things that we used to do? Maybe one of the things that you did was you competed with people. You competed with other family members. You know, um, it could be a lot of things that you were doing, but now you can't do those things anymore. Okay, you can't do those anymore. Um, so that's the question. So this is your permission to slide, to not do it, to not even deal with it. One of the things is, would you skip the toxic tradition? Because it's no longer fun. It's more of a competition. It's more about who's talking about who's wearing what, who got the new car, who got the new house, how many babies somebody had. We're looking at people's purses, how much they got in their wallet, and we get up there and we do all this talk, you know. So if that bothers you, don't go. And would you be all right with that? Would you be all right with the ideal that you decided not to go? Okay. Now, would you host differently if it was at your house? Gift differently? Okay. Or just opt out not to do any of it? If that's the problem, if that's the part of the holidays that bothers you the most, how would you do it? Would you say, you know what, this year I'm not going to do it? This year I'm going to stay at home and cuddle up with a cup of hot chocolate and some good old movies. Who's going to fault you for that? Nobody. They can't. It's what you chose to do. You have a right to that. Okay? Now, would you choose solitude, softness, or sacred rituals over the chaos? Would you just say, you know what, I'm not doing this. I'm not going. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not touching nothing. I'm just going to stay at home. And whoever doesn't like it, that's on them. It has nothing to do with me. How they feel about it has nothing to do with me. How they take it has nothing to do with me. And you might just have to say that. You might just have to really, really say that to get them to understand, I'm not doing it this year. You guys have a great time. I hope everything works out. Tell me, send me pictures, whatever. Make sure you take pictures. That's my whole thing. Make sure you take pictures, right? Because I'm not going, right? Okay, so the live line for this one is, different doesn't mean disrespect. Okay, it means um, deliberate. Okay, that's what it means. What would it look like to honor your peace this season, right? Even if it breaks tradition. What does that look like for you? Just something to think about. If tradition no longer works for you, why put yourself in a position of something that no longer works for you? That's just like being in a relationship. It no longer works for you. So why am I still in it? Why haven't I moved on? Why haven't I done this? Why haven't I done that? Think about it from that standpoint. Okay. So the next one is, what are some tips to reduce stress and reclaim joy during the holidays. And this is when we talk about ritual resets. Okay. So remember I told you earlier to create a negative and positive list for yourself, for your personality. So now I'm going to request you to create a joy list. All the things that make you joyful. Okay. And comment and commit to one thing each day. List of all the things that brings you joy, and each day commit to one of those things. I think that's a great idea. Create a joy list. I might have to use that. That sounds interesting. Yeah. Okay. And then start doing this in this transformation that you're making. Start setting your boundaries early. Okay. The holidays are here, right? And there's a lot of things that need to be done. A lot of traditional things that need to be done. But this year you're saying, I'm not interested. Because again, you're doing some self-caring, you're doing some resetting, and you're doing some, it's about me. Okay, so nothing wrong with that. So when you start setting your boundaries, the people that you're going to deal with, because you again, you don't want people in your life that's doing all the triggering. Okay. Um, so you want to make sure that you limit the people that you see, who you want to be around. How long? Like if you so happen to go around family, you're gonna stay there a couple of hours, 2 hours. I'm like this. For me, when things, if I feel like I don't need to be somewhere, I'll leave in a heartbeat. Hey, you guys, I'm gone. Yeah, I will leave in a heartbeat. So it won't even, um, it won't even bother me. And also make sure when you put your boundaries down, make sure if you just so happen to decide to stay around family, put them boundaries in place. For instance, your sister Evelyn. Your sister Evelyn always has a way of embarrassing you in front of people. First thing you say when you walk in the door, Evelyn, hey, how everybody doing? Evelyn, not today. She's like, what? No, not today. Not today. I'm just letting you know, not today. Well, are you all right? I'm fine. Just not today. Because you put that out there in the forefront, believe me, she ain't gonna bother you. She'll walk away. Well, I wonder what got into her. Just not today. That's all you gotta say. You ain't gotta cuss them out. You ain't gotta act a fool. Just not today. Okay. Um. Also, let's talk about your energy. Budget your energy. What are you going to actually find? Um, what is it that you know automatically you're not going to do today on that day? Okay, you already know. I'm not doing it. Okay, I'm not gonna give that energy to that situation, Evelyn, because she's a situation. I'm not giving my energy to it. That's why you told her not today. Um, and it's advisable to budget your energy just like you budget your money. Give it to particular things, right? You have a list, you got categories, you know how much you're going to give to this. You need to do that with your energy. Everybody doesn't deserve your energy. Everybody shouldn't be sucking up your energy either. Okay. So you definitely know you have to do that for that one. Okay. Build in sacred. Okay. Build in a sacred pause because you're going to need it, right? Um, Take time to journal because journaling is very important. By the way, do not forget to when we do our journal prompts, and I hope you guys have been keeping up with them. The journal prompts, definitely make sure you're writing them down, and you can go over to You Can't Clip My Wings and get a digital download of our journal. Okay. I know one is $9.99, the other one is $7.99. The $9.99 one, you can get that one for free if you become a paid subscriber to our Substack. Um, SalitaM.substack. If you become a paid subscriber, you get a copy of the $9.99, one of the $9.99 journals, digital download journals, and I will get it to you as soon as possible. Okay. Um, Joy isn't found. Oh, there's another one. Say no and mean it. Let me say that again. Say no and mean it. Do not play around. Say no and mean it. Joy isn't found, it's chosen. And stress isn't seasonal, okay? It's optional. Let's build a ritual that honors your peace and not your pressure. I need to put that on the shirt. I like that. Honor your peace and not the pressure. Mm, mm, mm. Wow. Oh my God, that's so good. Okay. Oh, but not only say no, say yes. Say both of them with intention. Hopefully, you'll find yourself saying a lot of no's, and you don't have to deal with none of that, right? You don't have to deal with none of it, right? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing. I apologize for that, but I thought that was funny. Okay, so then we're talking. What's one thing you would change, okay, about yourself right now in this moment? What would you change right now if you could change something right now? I think for me, I would change, golly, I have a lot that I could change right now. I think my train of thought, I think the way I think about stuff, I think I would do that immediately. I try to, and remember, stuck words. Let's talk stuck words. And I realized that I tried. It's a stuck word. It's actually a stuck. It is actually a stuck word. Let's see here. There it goes. You can't see that, can you? It says, let's see, there we go. It says, I'll try. Stuck phrase. I don't need to try anything. I need to do it. Okay? I need to do it. Okay. Yeah. So I need to not try. I need to go ahead and do it, right? Um, that would be something I would definitely get rid of is what did I just say? Um, I think sometimes having a negative outlook on stuff. Or, you know what? Another thing is that I think I struggle with is always going for the negative stuff first. Is that what I wanted to say? Yeah. I could be a Debbie Downer in certain areas in my life. Let me just say that. I could be a Debbie Downer. I don't mean to be, but I think I can be a good Debbie Downer. Yeah. Um, so when we talk about that, we're talking about the mirror moment. So we're talking about looking in the mirror and saying these things to ourselves. Would you speak to yourself with more grace? Remember we talked earlier about self-sabotage, putting ourselves down, da 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 da. So if we're doing all that, that's definitely mirror work that needs to be done. Um, Not beat yourself up all the time. Look at this one. I always mess this up. This would be one thing we would definitely say when you're in that mode of self-sabotaging and putting yourself in a situation where you like, oh gosh, I can't do this. This is not. I can't do this. You find yourself doing that, right? So you got to be careful. Okay. So would you finally honor your boundaries, your voice, and your worth once you've come to the conclusion of everything that we just talked about? Would you do that? Okay. Honor your boundaries. If you say no, look, Evelyn, I'm not doing it. I mean it. I'm walking out if we start. If you decide to start acting like this and start putting me on Front Street, because that's what they call it, putting me or embarrassing me in front of the family, I am leaving. I will not let you make me the joke of the night. I will not do that. So I'm leaving. I will definitely leave. And you have to tell her, you have to be very much so like definite with that. I am going to leave. If you decide that you want to talk to me the way that you do, normally embarrassing me, talking about me in front of the family, and everybody thinks I'm a joke, I'm leaving. Stick to it. Okay? Um, and understand your voice and your worth is much more important than being humiliated. Okay? So if you could shift one thing, just one, what would it be? Don't overthink it. It's your soul, because your soul already knows. And I think what I just said about Evelyn being the person who always makes you feel bad. When you walk, when you drive up and you see her car, you already know you're going to be dealing with some stuff. So why put yourself through that? Especially when she's not going to change. That's another thing. When somebody says to you, that's how I am, that means they're not willing to change. Yes. Excuse me. They're not willing to change. So, or they'll say, it's hard for me to change. So when they say those type of things to you, then you already know, hey, I'm going to grab my bags. Hey, I'm leaving the presents up under the table. Up under the tree. I'm out. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Just something to think about. Okay. Um, so if you could, yeah, so we said that. So this is just something to think about when it's time to change. Things that we would do to how we set ourselves up for that major, because that's a major decision to make. It really is. And you know that only you can do it. And it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, okay? Because there's so many things that we have embedded in ourselves, and we've allowed so much to happen. When we start moving differently, becomes a problem, not for you, only for the person that you're doing that, that paying attention to you, but you're also doing it for yourself. And it does take a lot to have that change make, or creating the way to change. It does cost a lot, mental and emotional. Okay, so I think I want to go ahead and get into the prompts, and then the last thing we're going to talk about is swimwear care, because hey, we got swimwear, right? Do not forget to check out the shop. Everything on there, press it, you got it, is yours. We're definitely still doing the pre-order on those, the swimwear, the vintage swimwear, and our wrap dresses. We are still doing the pre-orders on them. Okay. And I hope you guys have kind of checked them out. I'm wearing them. I wear them. My mannequin decided she wanted to take a break today, so she didn't come over here, but she's also wearing them, right? And I got some more coming. I'm about to, yeah, I got some more coming, so you guys can see more of them. Okay, and again, pre-order. I'm saying before the holidays, but I'm not really worried about getting it through the holidays as long as you guys get them. Remember, 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 remember. There's 15% off when you buy 2 of these. They're $75 each. There's 15% off on that. So altogether, you're probably spending a little bit over 60 something dollars. So you're getting that little break off. If you buy a dress and a swim piece of swimwear, okay, that is definitely 5% off. If you get our, please don't fall. If you decide to order our skincare, you see it has an affirmations card in there, okay? And make sure this doesn't fall. And it has skincare. That is our hyaluronic acid facial cream and the hydrating facial wash. Is that what I wanted to say? Yeah. Yeah, that's what, yeah. The facial cream and the wash goes with it. Did I say that right? You guys, please forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me tonight. Facial cleanser. It's the facial cleanser and the hyaluronic acid. Wow. I got to do this more often. Okay, you guys? I've got to do this more often. Let me say that again. The hyaluronic acid, okay, facial cream, and the cleanser, okay? Now, remember, you have an affirmation card comes with this, right? If you order the swimwear and the dress, you get a copy of our Start Healthy magazine, okay? That comes with that. It's got some real good recipes in here. It's got real good stuff. Talks about your budget. See, it says money moves in here. Good information. Great coffee table book, right? So if you order the dress and the swimwear, you get this to come with it. If you order two of the swimwear, 5% off. If you order the swimwear and the dress, it's also 5% off. If you order the bundle, you also get 5% off. So we have 5% off running for the month of October. November is going to be a little bit different. And so that will be rolling out too. Okay. I'm trying to figure out whether or not I should offer a discount on that one too, or we'll see. We'll see how that works. And I know it's only a couple of days away, but we'll see. I'll make that decision by the end of this week, what I'm going to do. By Wednesday, I should have that answer. All right. As soon as you guys order, I can get it to you. You guys probably can't tell, but I've actually used my cleanser and my moisturizer on my face, my facial cream and the cleanser. I told you I keep a jar in my shower. So when I take a shower, I definitely have that in there. Scrub that face real good. I don't scrub it, but do my little cleanser. And then when I get out and get ready to put on my makeup, I definitely put on my hyaluronic acid cream. This cream is very watery. That's because that's the hyaluronic acid. Okay. I had to ask the question, so why is it so watery? Because that's what the acid does. The hyaluronic acid is. It's very watery. So I would be careful to travel with this. Make sure I would put it in an extra thing. Even though the top is tight, I will still put it in a different, I would actually secure it in another little baggie or something, just in case it comes out. You won't have that problem with the cleanser, because the cleanser it looks like this. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's very stuck in there. It won't come out. Okay, and that's the cleanser. All you need is a little bit of both. Okay, put some water on your hands and a little bit of this, and it'll lather up real quick without it out. Okay. So like I said, I have them here. If you want to go ahead and put in your order, I'll get it back to you. Remember that our skincare carries, the ingredients in the skincare is for stressful environment, acne, oh gosh, bringing back the suppleness to your skin. That's what hyaluronic acid does, brings back the moisture in your skin. So all those things, okay, are what you find in the ingredients of both of the skincare pieces, okay, products, right? All right, I'm sorry. I went off on that tangent, but I wanted to get that out there. So now let's talk about proper swimwear care. Okay, let's talk about that. So when we talk about swimwear care, I'm just going to take this down. So we're looking at this, right? Okay. We know that proper swimwear care um, preserves your investment, okay? Um, and it protects your health, believe it or not. While staying in a wetsuit too long, this can lead to infections. I don't know if you know that, but yeah. Also, irritation and fabric damage, right? We look at make sure that when you go swimming, especially either in salt water or in chlorine, you take off when you're finished, completed swimming, take this off immediately, okay, and rinse it. I didn't say wash it, I said rinse it, right? Um, because of the chlorine and salt water, you want to make sure sunscreen or whatever else you wear, you want to make sure that you get it off of or out of the material, right? Um, when you make sure you always rinse it. When you take it off, rinse it immediately, right? Not wash it, but rinse it. And if you can go ahead and wash it, go ahead and wash it. But if you can't, just make sure you want to rinse out the chlorine, salt water, or any type of sunscreen. You want to get that out, right? Okay. Um, then it's best to hand wash it with a soap, a gentle soap. Okay. I don't know. I would leave the cups in, I guess. You can leave the cups in because either way it'll go, unless you want to take them out or they're already out. You want to wash them, you can definitely wash those too. Okay. Um, avoid washing them in the machine if you can. If you have to, just go right ahead and do it. If you don't have no other choice, make sure you're using cold water. Cold water. Okay, and just a mild detergent or soap, okay, to get that out. And it also keep in mind, never soak these for a long period of time because again, you might be fading the color, making it lose its shape, the whole 9 yards. So you don't want to do that. And definitely skip harsh chemicals on because it's almost like your delicates, right? So you don't want to put harsh chemicals on your swimwear. Okay. Believe it or not, you want to dry this in the shade. Okay. You want to dry it in the shade. I don't know if I would have never thought about that to do it in the shade, but do it. Make sure you wring it. Okay. Um, don't wring it. Let me take that back. Um, whenever you wring it out and you sun dry it, which we've always been taught to do, this can stretch the fabric and fade the color. So you want to be careful. And I've seen that before where you left it in the sun for a long period of time and the color comes. It burns the color and you have two different colors. Nothing like the block right here, but you would have two different colors, right? It says gently press out the water and then lay it flat to dry in the shade. I couldn't understand the shade, but I get it now. Okay. Um, and I was just kind of using that as an example. Okay. Avoid rough surfaces and lotions. Okay. Um, pool decks, sand, and tanning oils can be strong or can stain the delicate fabrics, right? So use a towel as a barrier and apply products before using it, okay, before swimming. Make sure you keep it away from the material itself, okay, in order for you to safely safeguard your swimwear, right? Let me tell you something. This is why I'm so glad I do it. Oh, I'm so glad. I push buying more than one suit. You need to rotate your suits out. Give each suit time to recover its shape and elasticity, right? Avoid wearing the same suit on multiple days or multiple times in a row. So that's why if I was you, Okay, I would purchase this one, and then I would purchase that one. Again, you get 5% off, and you get one of the Help Start Healthy magazines come with that, right? That's what I would do. So one day you wear one, next day you wear the other. Okay, if you was going swimming that much. Okay. So let's talk about the safety. Why, health wise, why you shouldn't. Okay, stay in a wetsuit. Okay, bacterial or fungal irritation or infections can start. Right, your wetsuits trap moisture and heat, creating a breeding ground for bacteria. So keep that in mind. This can lead to skin infections, right? Fungal rashes, right? And a UTI, especially in women. So these are things you need to watch out for when it comes to women keeping on your suit too long. Um, Vaginal health risk, okay? Vaginal health risk. For women, prolonged dampness can disrupt the natural flora or the way the body is, right? Increasing the risk of yeast infections, okay, and bacterial fungal vaginitis, okay? So you definitely want to make sure that you're taking care of your body, okay? Make sure you're taking off that suit. Skin irritation and chafing is another reason why you need to make sure you're taking off your suit. Tight, wet fabric causes friction, lending to redness and sores, and even open sores in sensitive areas. So you definitely got to be careful of what you're not taking off your suit. You got to take off that suit. You got to lay it to the side. Okay, you cannot walk around all day. Even though I notice we do this with our children, we allow our children to walk around in their swimsuits all day, right? Which we shouldn't do. Now that I know this, I'm not saying that your child can get yeast infection. Oh, they're just kids. I still wouldn't do it. I would get them out of it as soon as possible, right? Um, and make sure that you're drying it in the shade. You're not putting a lot of chlorine on it. You're not doing all the things that's going to damage the suit. And again, two suits, okay? Two suits. Rotate them suits out, okay? Now let's talk about hypothermia. Even in warm weather, wetsuits um, can create heat loss, which I didn't know that. Extended exposure can cause chills or hypothermia. Didn't know that, right? Especially in breezy shade conditions. So if you're wearing your suit in breeze, it doesn't mean that it's hot, but it's very breezy, might be a little cool. Be careful, okay? The last but not least is low odor and fabric damage. Wow. So it says lingering moisture leads to musty smell and the fabric breakdown. So that's why it's so important that you do the right thing for your swimwear. If you don't do anything else, do the right thing for your swimwear, right? It says, remember now that there's a fabric breakdown. We talked about chlorine and salt left in the fibers can degrade elasticity and color. So you definitely want to make sure you're rinsing it out correctly, you guys. I'm serious. Take this information very serious when it comes to swimwear. Excuse me. So you think that you're sick about something, right? And you don't know why down there hurts or whatever going on. Well, because guess what? You didn't do the proper care of that swimsuit. You didn't rotate it out. Hi, Latasha. I changed the time because I had to. I was working with one camera and then I had to switch over, so I had to change the time. So make sure you guys pay attention to your swimwear. And again, when you have little girls, okay, in their swimwear, take them out of their swimwear. When they finish swimming, take them out of that. Don't allow them to run around and run around in the wetsuit because you're gonna let it dry, let the sun dry it. No, take them out of it. They don't need any type of infections. Okay, so make sure you take them out. And again, make sure you use the right type of detergent or gentle soap to make sure that you don't use anything to irritate their skin. Okay, now let's talk about overcoming obstacles. This is going to be, we're going to close it out after this. We do our journal prompts. Again, you know where to go look for a journal. If you become a member of our Substack, you can get one of our journals that costs $9.99 for free. Like I said before, I've already given out those journals. I've already sent them the download for them to get them because they're free, right? Okay, yes, ma'am. I was a little confused just now. Yeah, I apologize. Yes, I had to change the time. You know, I normally come on at 6, but I had to change it to 7 because I was using another whole camera and it didn't connect correctly. So it took up a little time. So I switched out. So I came over here at 7. So you can always go back and watch it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's go ahead and get into these journal prompts. We're talking about overcoming obstacles. Okay. Let's see here. Me and my stuff. I try to stay as organized as I can. Let's put this up. Okay. Okay, so the first one, again, remember this one is called overstepping, overcoming your obstacles, right? So the first question is, what, okay, what is standing in the way of my dream life? What is standing in the way of my dream life? Is it me or what? Number 2, what, oops, do I feel like, why do I feel, what do I feel like I'm missing to be able to achieve my goals? Oops, excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry. So what do I feel like I'm missing to be able to achieve my goals? So you have to find out what's going on, why you feel this way. Okay. Number 3, what can I do to become more attractive to the thing, people, and opportunities I want to attract? You guys, I apologize. That is so rude of me. You know, sometimes, you know what I found out with yawning? It depends on how you're sitting, okay? That can also affect you to yawn. And I didn't know that. Okay. Number 4. What can I do to become more attractive oops to put myself in proximity. Oh, golly. Um, online, and offline to the things, people, and opportunities I want in my life. That's a long one. What can I do to put myself in proximity online or offline to things, people, and opportunities I want in my life? Okay, good. That's a good question. And the last one is number 5. And this one says, oops, what improvement can I make, wait a minute. What improvements can I make to my environment to better support the achievement the achievement of my goals? All right, that's our 5. I know I'm struggling. I'm struggling. Okay. Number 1, it says, what is standing in my way of my dream life? What are we holding on to that is definitely going to make it hard for us to move on and do? Remember, we talked about, which just coincide what we talked about earlier, about what we can do to make a change in our lives. Are we ready for that change, right? What do I feel like I'm missing to be able to achieve my goals is number 2. What can I do to become more attractive to things, people, and opportunities? Um, opportunities I want to attract. That was a crazy question, but yeah. Okay. Number 4 says, what can I do to put myself in proximity online or offline to things, people, and opportunities I want in my life? That's the same thing with that one, I think. Yeah. And then the last question is, what improvements can I make to my environment to better support the achievement of my goals? This right here and what we talked about earlier, perfect. They go perfect together, you guys. Perfecto. So when you go back, if you missed the first part, go back and listen to it. Take notes. I want to see you guys put together a joy list. If you put together a joy list on our next time, I think I'm going to do it too. I think this is exciting. I'm going to do a joy list too. And I'm going to list all the things that make me feel good. I'm going to put them out here in the chat box so you guys can see. I think that would be a great idea. Yeah. I'm going to do that. Right? Okay. So, let's see. I think that was it. Don't forget to go back. You can always go back to our other shows and look at all the, make sure, and I guess at the end of this series that I'm doing, because I'm going to start a new series probably beginning of next year. We'll start a new series, but we're going to stay on this series and we're going to go over all our journal prompts. And I am going to see if I can do this. Is crazy because I want to see something real quick. I'm going to do some invite guests. Let me see. Oh. So copy the link to invite participants to join the studio and participate in this show. Okay, so what I was trying to do, because I talked to them, I'm a person where I'm used to a share screen. With a share screen, it's easy for me to talk to you guys because I can hold this up all day long, but you guys don't know what's on here, you know? So I really, really, really need to be able to share the screen, you know? It's basically saying I need to invite somebody, but it needs to be a place where I can share the screen. I mean, yeah, do share screen. Because this doesn't help me. Because I want you guys to see stuff like you guys, what we do over on our other show, on the Kevin B. Frank show, when I do over in the empowerment show, I have the ability to share my screen. And that's so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Or if there's some information I want to share with you out of one of my books, all I can do is read it to you. I can't actually let you see it, and that kind of gets me a little bit. But yeah, I'll live with it for right now. I'll figure out something. But yeah, so I don't have that ability. It lets me invite people in, but it won't let me show things on here, and that kind of bothers me a little bit. Okay, that's just me. And I tried to talk to the person about. He says, well, you can we have pop-up screens or picture on picture. No, you have inviting people. It's not the same. So in order for me to show something, I would have to copy it and send it to somebody, and they have to say, okay, I'm coming on the screen. That's not what I'm talking about. I actually need to share my screen, you know? Um, I'm learning, okay? But it's so good that I have other places where I could do that at, right? Matter of fact, I need to do one over on the Vita One other television, other platform too, because I hadn't done one over there in a minute. And I can definitely share it out the same way I'm sharing out over here. But yeah, so maybe I'm gonna have to do that. Maybe I'm gonna have to do that. Share it that way. Good idea. Okay. I'll see if I can do it. And I just like I was doing my camera thing today and messed it up. And I'm not upset about it. It was just like it caught me off guard. And it was like right at the last minute. So I had to go back in there and mess with stuff and pull it back up. But yeah, it's going to get better. Now, again, one more time. I know you're like, golly, is it the same ones over and over again? This is the swimwear I have to get rid of. I'm just letting you know. This is the swimwear I have to move. I got to move it, right? this is swimwear I have to move. And also, you know, my wrap dresses, I got those. I told you earlier again, and you see in the shop that you can pre-order the wrap dresses. If you don't feel comfortable, order them over here. Okay, over here. You can also go over to You Can't Clip My Wings and order them from over there. I'm going to be adding more dresses on, and I will be getting more dresses so I can wear them so you can see them. Yeah, yeah. Um, you know what? I want to do with you guys, but again, I can't share my screen. I got to figure out something because I want to show you. Well, I guess it wouldn't be hard for me to do something. Okay, I can probably do something. I can probably do something. I got to figure it out. Okay. But I want to show you guys something. I want to show you. I want to show you a pair of earrings. I'm gonna just show you one of them. If you can see that, do you see that earring? Isn't that gorgeous? I made these. So I think I want to share with you guys probably next month. I want to put together some, and I can show you how to do this. Okay, you see that? See how pretty that is? And it goes dressed perfectly with my dress. I do necklaces too, but it's been a minute since I've done it. Well, it's been a minute since I did all of this. So I'm going to have to pull out everything again and share that with you guys. But yeah, I'm excited. Um, so yeah, we can do that. So I can show you how I make earrings and all the stuff you need to do it with. And it's really not that much. It really isn't. You just got to keep up with everything. And you'll see, I have boxes on top of, the little square plastic boxes with everything in it. But it's been a minute since I've made something, so just bear with me if I forget how to do certain things, right? Um, yeah, I got to practice before I even show it to you guys because I can't. I can't do that without, I have to be good at it. Okay. No, not really, guys. It's really not. It's not hard at all to do. I promise you. And I think it was one of the greatest gifts that was given to me as far as teaching me how to do that. Um, it was at a time in my life. It was around the time that I created You Can't Clip My Wings that I learned how to do jewelry. And I think it was one of the most wonderful, wonderful things I learned. How to make earrings, how to make rings, how to make bracelets, how to make necklaces. It was the most wonderful time. It was one of the greatest gifts besides my mom showing me how to sew. That was the other greatest gift I've gotten. Know how to do. And it was a very good benefit. And yeah, that was a great thing that was given to me. I don't want to say given to me, but was taught. And that's why I tell you guys, do not limit yourself to the things that you can do. Do not limit yourself to the things that you can do. Matter of fact, on Facebook, I don't know if it'll pull it up or not because it's been forever since I've been on that page. I don't even know if that page is still alive. But if it's still alive, it's called Earring Addict on Facebook. That's me, if it's still there. I loved making those earrings. A lot of them I don't have anymore, but it's not going to stop me from making more. I have to catch myself. I don't go to Hobby Lobby, and I don't go to, is it Michael's now? Yeah, Michael's. Because you know why? Because I'm addicted to buying beads to make my earrings with and to make my necklaces with and to make. So I kind of, matter of fact, you know what? Y'all just made me do something. I might have to stay at Hobby Lobby tomorrow. I might have to go to Hobby Lobby tomorrow and just get me a little bit. Give me a couple of them. See what they got on sale. I always wait till they go on sale before I buy them. Okay. I don't just buy them to buy them because them suckers can be very expensive. I wait till they have a sale. Well, whatever the sale is, I'll go for it. But yeah, that's what I did. I collected a lot of beads, and I'm gonna share that with you. Maybe for the month of November, we'll talk about that. But yeah, so don't forget to hang out with me Wednesday. I promise you'll have everything in the right spot. We will have more of journal prompts. Okay, we will talk more about the wrap dresses. Yes, yes. Um, we will probably talk more about the earrings. What else do I want to tell you guys? We might talk about just preparing ourselves for next year. I think be a great time. I just talked about what we can do now to change in order to get ourselves ready, not only for the holidays, for next year. Maybe we need to go more in depth. One thing for sure, I want to know what the emotional toolkit. Tell me what your emotional toolkit is. Also, we're going to talk about, oh my God, what else was it that I mentioned? I said emotional toolkit, and it was something else. Mm, 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 mm. That I wanted to bring up. That's going to be for Wednesday night. Your joy list. We're going to talk about a joy list for Wednesday night. So those are two things for sure. Mid-week motivation. Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, we will be back over here to hang out, to do that. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I hope you checked out everything in our shop. There's more things coming, you guys. This is a slow pacing thing. And I know some people feel like this is not the time to shop. We got a lot going on. But I'll say this. What you deserve, you deserve. You deserve happiness. You deserve joy. And they don't cost anything. And I hope that's what I'm trying to show you. That don't cost anything. But if you buy a piece of clothing, a product, and it brings you joy, it's your money. It's well worth it. That's all I can say on that. Okay? All right. So, you guys, I want to say thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you, Miss Dixon, for coming over here and hanging out with me. Miss Dixon is a great sport. I hate to say it like that. That sounds right. She is a great person. I love what she does. She's right. Like anything I've actually asked Miss Dixon is willing to be there. And I like that support. Every now and then you need that. It's not about me up here and she's down here. It's all about us doing this together, making things happen. And she runs one of my pages for me on Facebook, and she does a wonderful job. We do readings. Well, I do readings, and it's called Black Queens Reading. If you don't know where that is at, it's over there on Facebook. Most of my page is going to be on Facebook, and also I don't do it on Instagram. I don't do it on no. I don't do it on my Instagram. Sometimes I'll do it on my TikTok, but I don't do it on my TikTok that often either. Mainly, I stick it to that in my YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel also called Queen Universal that I do readings on there too, and I do my readings every Wednesday. I try to do one at 2 and one at 3. I try to keep that time, and that's every Wednesday, once a week. I might have to add another day in. Yeah, we'll see. I don't want to overwhelm myself because I'm doing this by myself. I just got to take my time, and I love doing things. I love staying busy. I love changing environments. I love doing all that, and I live for that because that's my purpose. We talked about life purpose. That's another thing we might need to get into. I don't know if we already did that already over here, but I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I want to say thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for coming back. I apologize for the inconvenience. The show still comes on at 6 o'clock. I was trying to use a different camera, and that didn't work out. So I had to end the show and start another show. Yeah. Okay. So you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. You guys have a great evening. Don't forget to look in the shop. You can look over here. You can go over to my You Can't Clip My Wings and go to shop rituals. If you go over on that page, you'll see everything, basically almost the same thing here, but that's where our journals are. Our journals are downloadable. Once you pay for them, you can download them. But if you want one of our journals, that is free, and that's our $9.99 one. If you want one of those journals, you join my Substack, SalitaM.substack, you'll get that one for free as a paid subscriber. Like I said, I've already given some out. Um, and look, just go over there and subscribe to my doggone. I need some subscribers. All right, definitely do that. Um, Check out my posts. Let me know if you like them. Thank you, Miss Dixon, and Miss Bell is another person that actually goes back and forth talking to me, commenting on my posts. You guys make my day. You make my day. Y'all don't know how hard it is. The hustle and grind out here trying to get that stuff out every day. It's awesome, but it's also a lot of work and trying to make sure the right people seeing it. But yeah, okay. Enough of me talking because I love to talk. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. You guys have a great evening. Thank you again. We're going to have a great week. Let's just claim it. We're going to have a great week. Say it out loud. I am going to have a great week. There we go. Okay. All right. You guys have a great evening. Bye bye.